Okay, we're live again. Um, Yesterday, I took a detour from working on the tRPC backend front end so I could focus a little bit more on the Fab components library that I was building. I cleaned it up a little and added a modal, and then that ended up being pushed here to this repo here. I haven't, documented any of it. I've just pushed the code just in case anyone wants to take a look. And now I want to jump back into the tRPC library, but I want to reference this Fab components package that I've pushed right onto npm. So I should be able to do npm.js, and there it is. This Doug Fab components. And I should be able to pull that into my repo. And then I want to do some kind of finish the CRUD setup, which is, so we did create and read last time, and I want to get into edit and delete if I can. Okay, so let's start with some cleanup on the tRPC repo so that we can use the Fab components library that we were using. So right now I have Fab components. I have 3 references to it, which is here in the package.json. In my main file, right, I'm importing the CSS and then referencing the Fab components. Now, ideally, I want to be able to use unplugin to reference these Fab components, so we'll get back to that in a second. The way I was doing importing Fab components was, so it was referenced in my package.json, yes. And then it was symlinked. Oops, not from here, but from here in my front-end node modules, it was symlinked. Fab components, and you can see the symlink to the place where it was. Actually, that's not where it was. That's just where it's linked. And then if I go here and look at this folder, it links back to my development folder for Fab components. But I've changed that up. And so I no longer want to link Fab components. I want to just import it from the internet or wherever. And then later on, once I'm making more components, perhaps during dev, I might reference my local version. I don't know if there's a yarn unlink. Let's just see. And I think there is this. No, that's. But I feel like I could just safely remove the Fab components folder here. Let's get rid of it from our package.json as well. And now I should be able to yarn add at this doc Fab components. And this should fetch it from the internet. And if we take a look at our package.json, we'll see Fab components here, referencing the version that we have. Okay, great. Now let's go back to wherever else this was referenced. So I'm getting these in my yarn.lock now, which I wasn't before. And let's just change the references here. So this will now be this duck Fab components. And the other reference is here in the home page. And this should be this duck/Fab components. And that should be good enough, I think. So let me go ahead and try to start up the servers. Yep, yarn dev port, and then the backend as well. And this should allow me to jump into the front end, and it should load fine. And I'm paginating, and I have my, well, did that submit an empty? Yeah, it seems like it didn't. Was that an error which I'm not catching? Yeah, okay. There is an error, seems like. Well, you look at that. At some point, we should get these errors. Expected string received undefined. Cool. So we should be processing this here so that it shows up. Now, I do notice something, which is so the submit button seems to be properly styled, and I am using a fab button for this, but my field elements aren't styled properly. So let me load this up and take a look here to see what's going on. I have a rounded MD, and the reason why this rounded MD doesn't apply properly until, say, I imported the CSS from my fab components was because even though I have Tailwind in my own app, I'm not using rounded. Oh no, I am using rounded MD here. So I thought that might be the reason, because I wasn't using rounded MD, but I am. So my assumption is that this rounded MD should apply, but it's not. Do I really want to go around and figure out by debugging it? I actually don't right now. My preference is to, it seems like rounded MD is being overridden. So it is applied here, but it's overridden by what? So rounded MD is border radius. Let's just see if there's a border radius anywhere in these definitions up here. There is 0 here on, oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Let's see now. Maybe it's the order of things that I need to alter. So let's just open this up, look at our main.ts. What happens if I do this? Because it would seem like the reset here is resetting here. So either I don't want to reset in my own CSS, or I don't want to reset in my fab CSS. And I wonder which one it ought to be. So that ordering did make a difference here. I wonder which one it ought to be. And I'm not going to get into that for now. I'm okay with this, and I'll work my way through the rest of the app for now. Okay, great. So what I want to do is perhaps add a page which maybe gets linked here that I click into, and then I can edit. Yeah, I think that's fine. I was thinking maybe I click, I get a modal, and then I can edit, delete, what have you, but maybe I can just have like /post, which gets me based on that edit, based on that link, and I can go to that page and then edit or delete or what have you. Or the other thought was I have another column with edit or delete here. And let's see how that worked. Either way is fine. It's not a big deal. I'll probably just create a link, go to the page, edit it. That seems fair. Okay. So let me just close these up, and I want to create a post page and with an ID and move on from there. So maybe let's do that here. This isn't really a home page. This is like more like a posts page. So I could even just start by doing this. Call this post page, and then add another path like this, posts ID with a param, and this would be the post page. And maybe we take it from there. Let's modify this to posts. Yep. And once I go back here, I should see nothing. But if I go to, if I go to /posts, I ought to have seen something, but I probably didn't update everything I needed to. Post page is not defined, right? So I do need to define a post page as well. Yeah, I'll just copy this for now, and no one will be the wiser. Post page is still not defined. Oh yeah, I'm not importing it. What am I doing? Okay, we'll just get rid of that and get rid of that. And now it is defined. I should have seen that. I should have seen the underline. Okay, so now I'm getting my posts and pagination works as expected. And I should be able to add a new post as well as expected. So new post. I ate cheese. I didn't eat cheese, but you know, here it is. And this changed, which means the first page has a new post. Perfect. So let's add, let's sort of pare down the post page. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to start from, whoops, I'm just going to start from scratch-ish here. This kind of was my main page, which is why it has this like slate and P8 and text slate color. So let me actually move that into app.view around the router view. And that can live here. And over here, I can just get rid of this and save. Although again, I was just clearing this out anyway. So let's do that. Let's just call this post page for now with nothing here. No style scopes. And then I'll probably go back and forth. So here I am on this page, and then I'll probably need to copy some things here and there. So, and now here I'm on the post page with just that. I'm just going to say min height, screen, min width, screen as well. That didn't work. Screen. Okay, just so that the background is everywhere. And I want to get rid of that from my posts page. And maybe my naming convention should be better, but later. Okay, great. And now I can, so just on my post page, I just want to display the title and the body. And then after that, I'll just have an edit button. So what I'll want in the script is based on the ID that I'm getting from the route. So I do want to pull in the route. Let's pull that in. And then I'll want, I'll have a load here as well. Not with any of these, but I guess I will have, I don't think I need to yet. I don't think I need to yet do anything with that. So I'll just load to begin, and I'm going to load the specific post based on the ID of the post. So const ID is equal to route.params, not query this time, ID. So we'll pull that out, and then we'll use it here. So let me pull tRPC. And I should be able to do tRPC dot post, and I think it's by ID. It is by ID, and ideally this should have given me options here, but I'm just going to do ID here, get the data back, and for now we'll just console.log it, data, and maybe that can be a ref as well. So the post can be a ref, and let's just keep that empty for now. And then I'll bring that up here. Okay, so post is a ref, and let's just post dot value equals data for now, and let's display that here in a pre-tag. I go back and I get an error, probably because I'm not referencing the right thing at the right time. Let's just take a look. Post page line 11. It doesn't like this. It doesn't like, does my post not have, what am I doing wrong? Okay, let's just take a look here. If I go to FW, I get this reference here, which means, am I not importing properly? It seems like I am. tRPC. I'm doing a go to definition here on the keyboard, and it's not going to the definition. But when I go to definition here, this works fine. So it means like the import isn't correct for whatever reason. But cannot read properties of undefined reading apply. And I don't know where that would be here exactly. This, okay, so I mean, there's this line, but I don't know, like, I don't know where, in some sense. So let's see. I mean, I must be doing something simple and incorrect again. So script setup, tRPC, using the route. Let's just see for now if this much works. I'll just, let's just see if I'm getting my ID. I'll paste that out. And my console, I am getting the ID. So I just so I know that bit is working, and there is a problem here. I don't suppose it's with, yeah, I don't know. Huh. That's odd. Post page, I don't think it's like me exiting Vim and coming back, and I don't think it's a TypeScript server that wasn't picking it up. Post page.view, it is a view file. Okay, now it is. Now it is picking it up. So it was that. And there is no by ID on post, it seems, which is interesting. So here I am. Well, there is a by ID, and it takes in a number. So what's the deal here? This doesn't like it. Because what? Is not callable. So I wasn't expecting this. Is not callable? That doesn't make any sense. Certainly we know that list is callable because so input schema, query, is that number is not callable. It is a query, just like list. Async input, async input. The input gets piped into here, and I should be getting that from my server. I know that I tested this early on through the UI, so I find it odd that it's giving me trouble here. But let's just take a look. Ah, silly me. Okay, so just again, here I'm not as familiar with tRPC. I gotta hit up a query. So this is not callable, but this is, and this needs to be a number. So let's make it so when we get something from the params, it is an ID. Let's turn that into a number. Right, so I just need to do query, and I just noticed that by looking at the comment here. Okay, that makes sense. And now that information does come up here, so I'll just have a title and yeah, I know Tailwind has a prose thing that I should be able to use. So I believe I have prose set up here. I don't. Okay, so Tailwind config typography. That's what I have set up. I have the typography stuff set up. Okay, post page. And use, just to be different. And then this could be an H2. I can have post.title here. And then the body can be, I guess I could put it in a paragraph for now, but I mean, yeah, I don't want to mess with it too much. I think at some point I can process it through Markdown and then just output that. But for now, post dot body will live here. I can remove this, and this can have a class of prose, just so things look half decent. This is fine for now. Here's my post. I cheese, and maybe I can have an edit button here. Let's link it up so that I can come to any of these, and maybe we can edit one of the more wordy posts. Okay, so let's get back to our posts page, and this will have a link to. And again, I mean, the goal at the end is to kind of make this somewhat dynamic, where I can pass in a post object into some router function, and it will automatically either generate or display these things for us. But let's see what direction that goes in. We're not there yet. Let's just do the basics first. So I'm not thinking, like, it's in the back of my head, but I'm not thinking about it too much. All right, let's turn this into a router link, and let's get this back here, and let's link to, and then I guess I have everything in main for now, so that's fine. I want to give this a name, so something like that'll be good enough for now. Posta. Yeah. Okay, fine. Again, I'm trying to not make it too sort of, the need to be dynamic at some point. And then the params will pass it an ID of the post.id. And these are links, but they do not look like links because I don't have any kind of global styling for links. That's fine for now. Let's just go to a page and see it load up. And it does. I'm getting an error for the title, so let me fix that. Somewhere I'm referencing the title and it doesn't like it because it cannot read it, even though I'm seeing the title here, and it seems to be working fine for me. So post page. That's the only place I'm using title. I'm using title in a few places here. Maybe that's what it doesn't like. Here the typing is off because I never typed as never because I'm passing in an empty array. I should be able to do as something here, but I'm saving that for later when we share the object code. So what is this error? Post page line 27. Well, that is not very helpful. So what it is that makes sense. Post.title isn't there when the page initially loads, right? So when it's loading, I don't have any loaders or any of that. And maybe we'll introduce some of that stuff later as we're, doing some cleanup runs. But for now, this can be a v-if post. So if a post exists, display it. So now if I refresh here, that error shouldn't be there, and this should show up. Great. So that was the error. It was a timing issue here. Okay. I wonder if I move this to before mount, whether I would still get that kind of an issue. Let's quickly see if that would be the case. So let's do before mount here, on before mount. So let's pull that in, and then on before mount over here, let's pull this in, and let's see if that makes any difference. And it doesn't. It doesn't. I think it's still processes this before it gets mounted, maybe to the UI, to the DOM. Okay, so did I not save properly? What did I do? I missed the if. Okay, and now there it is. That's working. I can get rid of these console.logs because I'm fairly confident with this. Okay. Edit. I want to edit, so I can probably just add an edit button down here. This block here will just convert into a form, one after another, very similar to the form that I have on the posts page here. And then I make a change, I submit, and then it should just work. So let's begin by doing that. So I suppose I'll have an edit ref, which will begin as false. And then I can maybe just even up here have my form. So let me grab that from here. So we'll just copy paste for now because we don't know what direction this may take us. So and then we'll just have an update function. So I have a create function here, which I can probably copy. I don't know why I'm mixing and matching types here, but in this case, I don't think we need to reset form. Okay, I need to pause this because this is a call I need to take. Okay, I mean, not that anyone is watching this, but I just had to get that call. So here I'll put in a v-if edit. We'll see this form, and then here I can do a v-else if because I don't want to show this alongside the form anyway. And I want some initial values in the form, so I should be able to say initial values and pass it the posts straight up. I should be able to do that. And I updated this update function. And then I'm reloading here so that it loads it after the update. I mean, we could also make it so that the update gets that information back, but you know, that's fine. Let's call this update. And now I would expect, well, first I have to create a button down here. Whoops. Down here, you know, type button so it doesn't do anything weird. Let's call it edit. And all this will do is on click will make edit true. And then here I'll want to make edit false after loading, right? Edit's value is false, and that should be fine. Let's figure out whether that works or not. It doesn't like it because I haven't imported these components. And because FA starts with something that matches unplugins icons, it's doing this. So let me maybe just take a second to fix that up. So what I want to do is unplugin view, not icons, unplugin view components. And here they should have a description of how I can configure my, you know, your own resolvers. And here it is. Okay, so I can configure a resolver that matches the component name, starts with, and then uses so return name from blah. Okay, that's perfect. So let me jump into my Vite config here, and I have an icons resolver. I'm assuming that I'll need to put this before that one. So let's do that, and this will now become fab. I don't need to slice anything because they're named fab right off the gate. It doesn't like starts with here for some reason. So I want to return, I am going to just add this for legibility. And then here it's from at this duck / fab components. Let's see why it doesn't like the starts with. Try changing the lib compiler opt to ES 2015 or later. Okay, I'm not against it. This is in my front end. I'm using ES next here, so I don't see why. ES next should be after 2015, right? Weird. I think this will run. I think, but let's find out. Or I'll get an error and I'll know. So I do have an error of some sort here, and it doesn't seem like it's an error. It's a warning because it's a CSS warning. It's unfortunate that it's this long because it's coming from somewhere. I don't know if this is related to what I was getting before or if it's related to now. And it's super hard to tell. So let me just do a lot of these and start the server. Now we get these, and which is unfortunate, but it is CSS deprecation, and I won't bother with that right now. But if I come back here, I do see my button, even though I haven't imported it in that specific component. And my post page, I don't have my fab components set up, but now this will just work. I don't have to import them from anywhere, which means on the post page, I also don't have to import them anywhere. So I can just get rid of that. And my post page should work fine. That's pretty cool. Okay. Here we are. I click edit. I would have expected to see my form, but I don't. Cannot create property title on string post. So it seems like post is a string because I didn't make this a reactive prop. And my system here gets pre-populated. I can change this to, my feelings and update. And now this is my feelings. I refresh and these are still my feelings. Yeah, I mean, even though this is multiple paragraphs here in multiple lines, it shows up as one single entity. And maybe I can, no, I'm not, I'm gonna hold off on like any customizations for now, but I hate my feelings. That's good. That's good. Okay, so we have update working. I think what I can probably do is have a delete button on the side here and then the edit button here right at the bottom. And that'll give me basic CRUD. Okay. Right, so this can be a div and we will say class equals flexBuddy and justify between, and we'll add another button. Call it danger. I'll decide on what to do on the click later. I'm going to use a modal to confirm. This is great. This is why instinctively I wanted a modal yesterday. That's nice. Okay. Delete. Will it be a red button? It's not a red button because I guess I don't have danger as a color. Was it supposed to be red? I'll take a look. I'm not seeing any color thing here. Let's quickly take a look. I think I ended up naming it. I think the folder is called form play still, but the innards are my library. So here, let me just pop into source. Let me just get into main for now, and then I can just search here. So what I'm looking for is fab button to see how I error, not danger. Is that what I want? Sure. Error. In this case, there's no error, right? So what did I call it error? So I'll probably end up changing that later. But for now, it's like, I don't want to. Okay, it is kind of, intense here. Can I create an outline variant? Did I do that? Okay, and maybe I can make this small so I can have a small size. And I think that just looking at the options here, it is size. So we'll just make the delete button smaller. It doesn't seem smaller to me. What if I do excess? Maybe it doesn't work. And that's fine too. Like I'll live it. No, it does work. It is smaller. Look at that. Looks kind of big to me. I would have probably wanted even less padding. That px2 seems like a lot. No worries, that's fine. If I click this, what I want is to run some delete thing on it. So I don't want to be in my button thing here. I want to be in my post page. Okay, so I do want to run some delete function. I don't really need to pass the ID in here because, you know, so I'll run I'll create a delete function here. And I know I'm mixing and matching styles, but whatever. Something to fix later. We could probably just regrab the ID here. Maybe this could have been set up somewhere out here as well. No problem. Yeah. I'll grab the ID and then I'll want to issue a delete, after which it should probably redirect to the post page. So I want a you know what? Let's see what I want to do. So what I probably want to do, so I do want to use the router here, and have use router here. And then I want to do a router.push, so programmatically redirect to the post page. Post dot delete dot some mutation here, and we'll be passing it the ID. It doesn't like it because not because the data mutation does not exist on type this. Maybe I call it something else. Let's see. That's convenient. I think it's mutate, not mutation. Right. And here we're good to go. The mutate is right up here anyway. Okay, so that's good. I don't really need this unless there's some error out. Note that I don't have any like error checks anywhere here. That'll come later. So for now, let me just do a pure delete, right? Like we say, hey, I want to delete, and it deletes it. I can't use delete, so let's call this remove for now. And this still won't work, right? Yeah. Something to look into. So let me remove that delete into a remove. And that should be good. So for now, if I click delete, it's going to be deleted. It's not going to do anything. So let's see what happens. If I refresh, it doesn't show anything here because there's no. So let's do this. After delete, let's do that redirect. So I will do a router.push, name posts. I don't know. I don't recall if I named that. So let's just make sure. Oops. I didn't name this, so let's name it. You know, this could be something like post.id as well, just to match the flow, but for now, I'll leave it. I don't want to overthink it too much. Let's delete number 100, and it comes back here, and there's no 100 here either because this gets reloaded. Okay, great. That's working. Let's delete this new post. No cheese was eaten. Let's make the UI for delete a little less abrupt. So what I want to do is if I click this, I want it to ask me whether I'm sure. And if I am, it will continue with the delete, but otherwise it won't. And so this is exactly what I was doing yesterday. So let's see if the stuff I had set up yesterday comes in handy. So what I'll do is I'll have a fab modal here. And let's add a ref to it, which will be called confirmation modal. And let's add that ref, confirmation modal. Okay, and on the delete, what I really want to do is here I'll say cost confirmed, await the modal. So I want to do confirmation modal dot yeah, I'll have to do .value.show, right? And I could just say that this is a Boolean. And then here I could say if not confirmed, then return, right? Don't do anything. Group that together, see what the problem is here. It seems like it doesn't like it doesn't know what it is. So that's fine. I don't, for now, I won't mess with that too much. But I think we could type this as we'd have to import it and then type it. I might have deleted that post. Oh no. Everything failed. I never exported fat model. What a disaster. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. All right. Form play index.ts, and I gotta see if there's a way I can, automatically have something like this. So that model. So just forgot to do this yesterday. I guess I'll need to package.json, make this a new version. And here I should be able to do a yarn publish, right? It'll be like, hey, what version? So 0.0.2. And then it will ask me for a password, which I will retrieve off screen. Here it is. And I think it'll give me a 1TP as well. OTP. So let me grab that through my email. And that should have now published that change. And I can come back here into my app and do a yarn add this. My expectation here is that it will grab the latest version. Start this back and wasn't expecting this. I did restart my server. I did the whole thing about, the thing with the thing. I exported, I imported. What did I did build like a loser. Does it matter? I don't think it does matter. It does matter, of course. I don't believe they'll let me overwrite it if I publish, and I go 0.0.2. They'll be like, hey, okay, well, they're not. So let's see. This is a good learning experience for me to see what happens if I was to do something like this. Yeah, that one-time password is incorrect. You're right. And I'm wrong. Like a fool. Oh, that's my password. That's fucked up. That's fine. I'll change this. What am I doing? Okay, let's try again. 0.0.2. This password that was now changed because it is on the public internet. and my one-time password. It's fine. It's fine. No one's gonna, no one's gonna. Right, so it doesn't want me to update, and that's fine. I'll do that right here. Let's do this again. 0.0.2. 3 because just of pure embarrassment for not having compiled into the password that nobody saw because they're not watching this, but that I just exposed to the world like a loser. Okay, now if I go back and let's yarn add this again, it should grab 3 and I should yarn dev come back, and my expectation is for it not to throw a fit. Okay, if I delete here, I should see my modal. And if I click outside the modal, it will not delete the post. That looks wonderful. Okay, and let's give my modal a title. Here, so I can jump into this modal and be like, okay, template. Are you sure you want to delete? Are you sure you want to delete this? It won't even say what. It's just, you know. And this is the title. Let's see if that. So that's great. And then I can, yeah, I can add a P here. This is serious business. Please make sure you want to do this. And then we'll have a button here, which on click closes the modal with a value. So we'll say confirmation modal dot close true, and that will continue the operation here. So this will await the result of this modal, either closing or doing this. And this should be like, yes, I'm sure. So what I'll also do is I will add some spacing here for cleanliness. Do this, class equals flex again, justify between. It'll look very similar to our thing here, where I'll copy this over, and this will just be an outline. It won't be danger. It won't be color error. Maybe this should actually be color error, right? And this will just be an outline saying cancel. And on click, it will simply conmo close. That'll be false or empty, one way or another. Okay. Something is not liked by this, probably an extra this. Okay, great. So now when I click delete, I got to cancel and a yes, I'm sure. I can click out of it. I can click into it again and say, yes, I'm sure. In which case it ought to take me to the post page and it should not have 101. Great. Let's delete this. If I cancel, no delete. If I click outside, no delete. If I click here, it deletes. And I think one of the flows I like is, oh, I kind of want to have another modal, oddly enough. And this time it's like redirect modal, and right after the delete, so redirect modal. And what this will do is we'll have your post has been deleted. Click OK to go to the post page. just trying this out as a and it doesn't matter here. There's no value that'll matter here. And so I can just say, okay. And maybe I want to try out something like it deletes. It tells me it's been deleted, right? So it'll still await a confirmation. So sort of like a redirect confirmation. And here it doesn't matter. Like, so I actually don't need to store this value at all. I show it, I return from the modal, and I redirect. Like, you don't get a choice. There's no true false. Okay, so let's try that out. Post number 98, we'll delete. Yes, I'm sure. Did I change the content on the wrong modal? Oh, no. I'm just showing the confirmation twice. So this should be a redirect modal is what I want to be showing. Okay. So let's go back. Let's delete. Yes, I'm sure. Your post has been deleted. Click OK to go to the post page. Okay. Come on. Okay. Sometimes you have to be forceful. It's because I didn't change my variables in my copy paste thing, and then now my autocomplete is messing with me. So let's just redirect modal. Let's just copy this as it is. Okay, great. I think that's it. It is a lot, but I think it makes for a better UI, and that should not be an error button. It should just be a regular button. And since I only have one, let's put it at the end. Now when I delete, yes, I'm sure. Your post is deleted. Click OK to go to the post page. Okay. Instead of just abruptly sort of putting me on the post page. Yes, I'm sure. Okay. And we're back. If I do this again, yes, I'm sure, and I kind of click outside, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. And that's because we're not really doing anything here with this. I'm happy with that. Apart from the spacing, I do feel like this should like have a there should be a border bottom, which I can sort of do with this, but I shouldn't have to really. This is serious business. Okay, if I delete now, there's some spacing there, which should be there, but I need to add the spacing to my components library. Let's just see how that looks all with that spacing in here. PT4, which I like how it cares about the ordering. Yes, I'm sure your post has been deleted with some room for the text to breathe, and okay. We could do that with edit as well, right? Like blah blah, I don't think we need a confirmation here. I don't think we need to like, hey, your post has been edited. I think here we could have a other kind of notification that kind of pops in and out, but that doesn't impede the flow of the page. But yeah, I think I'm fairly happy with this and how this has turned out. So what have I done here? I have, okay, just let me in. I haven't done this, like, the Zort to form thing, but I've just done basic CRUD, right? I've done basic CRUD on the front end. And maybe for next time, what I want to do is, I want to start typing some of these things. I want to start, even the post page, posts page. Yeah, I want the return value here typed, right? It should be an array of something, so that I don't run into this kind of a situation. And I'm not going to have like model object post model here. Model object is a type coming from the objection library. which I want to remain in the backend, but the shape should be the same. Like the shape of model object post model should be equal to whatever we'll define here. And so for that, what I'm going to try and do is I have this tRP test thing. It doesn't have a package.json here. It has a yarn.lock because I probably ran yarn in this folder. It has a backend which has a package.json. It has a front end which has a package.json. What I want to do is I want to create a shared package and make this into a monorepo, and then have my validations coded here in the shared folder that get imported by the backend and front end both. And then I'm able to, I'm able to have shared validations and by extension shared types, so that once I'm in the post page here, I can type this based on the Zod validations. So that'll be the first step: convert this to a proper monorepo, have a shared thing, import that information, and then see how I can make this more generic. So for example, instead of having these hard coded here, derive these from that Zod object and then loop over the values and just display them as is. And the same thing for the view and edit. And that way, kind of out of the box, we have view and edit. And so that'll be the goal for next time. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, especially with the work that I did yesterday on the modal. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm good with this. And I'm going to, at some point, push this code into its own repo so that it's available as well. Because I did get a comment where somebody asked whether this would be available, and yes, it will. I'm noticing now that the scroll is not working. I'm trying to scroll down on the page here. Probably because why? Even now that scroll's not working. Look, I'm scrolling and it's not working. So I do want to kind of look into this. Is it because of these? Because I defined a min width? Oh, okay, yeah. No, that's not why. That's weird. Let me just double check that by going into app view and just removing these for now and seeing if that was it. That was it. Ugh. Because I think those should really be on the body. Here. Max height screen. Not max, min. Did I have max out here? No, I had min. Okay. So min height screen, min width screen out here. And that should now scroll. And if I visit a page that isn't full, no, that's not my expectation. Do I have to restart this for that to take effect? No. Okay. I'm gonna have to okay, that's fine. This will need to be full within this, I think. No? And then this div needs to be full. But I don't think I want to do that. I think that's kind of messy. So anyway, the scroll is working and I'm happy with that, and I can wrap up. So that's it for today. And I'll figure this out, and then we'll start on the monorepo using the Zod object to determine the type and determine dynamically the fields that we want to display. View might be a bit odd, but I could just it could just be more like title this and body this, and that's fine. That's not a big deal. So it won't look like a blog post. It'll probably say title up here and then have the value here. And it won't be, probably won't be like a header or whatever. And that's fine. Like even a table kind of dump of the information is good. It will have these deletes and edits. It will do this as you edit and all that. I should have a cancel here as well, but we'll add that next time. So that's all I got for today. And I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And I got to change my password.